Hi everybody, Bearded Rogue here, and we're going to do another unboxing video, this time Aeon's End from Indie Boards and Cards and Action Phase Games. I kickstarted this quite a bit ago, actually, and this was the, I kickstarted at the Breach Mage level, which meant I got a whole bunch of extras. These guys did something that I hadn't seen before, but that was really clever. Each one of these, this box was shrink wrapped and it had a sticker on it that said Breach Mage. And so I'm given to understand that all of the extra content is actually inside this box. And so we're going to open it up and find out. So here's the cover. The artwork on this is still just as amazing as when they debuted it on the Kickstarter. Kevin Riley here, the gentleman who designed it, I actually met him at a publisher speed dating at Origins last year, not this year's Origins, but last year, and he was actually showing the game that would become this, called Discord. So I've kind of followed this game since it was a prototype, and as soon as it was on Kickstarter, I knew that I had to have it. So, okay, so we've got a couple of flat boxes for the extra content. So the Depths expansion and the Nameless expansion, which both of these are included in my Breach Mage level, it looks like. But they flat packed the boxes so they fit inside the main box. That's a pretty cool idea. And so we've got a Breach Mage named Nim. Wow. It's a lot of gloss on these. Nim, and then Reeve, and then we've got a Blight Lord enemy, and then we've got Malistar is another Breach Mage, and then we've got a Wayward one, which is another enemy, and then we've got a Horde Crone, and a Carapace Queen, and another thing for the Carapace Queen, it looks like, the Husk Trek, and then the Rageborn, so all sorts of nasty bosses, and then we've got the Prince of Gluttons, and then we've got Phaedrax is another Breach Mage, and Adelhelm is another Breach Mage, and Crooked Mask is another enemy, and Lash, and Gian, and Brahma, and Zaana, all more Breach Mages. Each one of these boards is decently thick. They're not quite as thick as a wrapped board, but they're decently thick cardboard. They're, as you can see, glossy the way they reflect the light. They've got a little story about the character on the back, and on the front they've got all the pertinent data on how to run your character. Pretty cool. And again, very much a lot of representation in this. It looks like the vast majority of the characters, yeah, the majority of the characters are women. However, there are men as well, and various skin tones for both the men and the women. I really like this one, Brahma. Really neat. So pretty good cast of characters there. Let's see, we got some more. Oh, Mist and Kadir and Zaxos. So all sorts of different Breach Mages here. Some of these I'm sure are expansion content or Kickstarter content, but I'm not sure which ones. Here's the Tainted Track and the Position Chart. It looks like these go with the Blight Lord and the Wayward one bosses. So like the Carapace Queen, looks like the Wayward one and the Blight Lord here have a track that goes with them. Then we have some cards here of the Horde Crone and the Blight Lord and the Wayward one. I'm thinking these are dividers that will separate all the cards once we actually get to the cards portion of things. Then it looks like we have two big rule books. And the first one is actually the rule book itself, which I will read at some point. The second one is actually a very clever thing that they did. It says, "Stop! Before you open any of the decks of cards, read this sheet." Since I'm about to open some of the decks of these cards, I'm going to read these sheet. It says, it's not intended to teach you how to play. You'll need to read the rule book. However, this gives you the setup for your first game, and I'm given to understand that the cards in the decks are actually collated in order to allow you to play your first game. So I'm not going to shuffle anything or sort anything until after I've played the first game, but just know that that's something that I've heard really good things about, that you can just open up the packs and start playing your first game from there. Oh, cool. We got a token for the Wayward One and the Blight Lord, and then we've got a punch board here to punch out. Looks like markers for which player is which, and damage markers, and looks like we've got some markers for the Rageborn specifically. It looks like there's a different boss on the other side. So they reused tokens pretty efficiently. It looks like for bosses that need tokens, it looks like they used the same tokens, so they didn't need as many punch boards. That's a pretty cool idea. I like planning like that in games. Reminds me of Terraforming Mars and their plastic bits that are representative of quantity rather than specific resources. So yeah, these punch really well. No artifacts, no clinging on to the punch board. They just come out really well. Cool. I'll move on to punching the rest of these out in a minute. Let's keep digging. So let's see what we got. So we've got a pack of cards that says, "Stop! Do not shuffle this deck." And stop B, do not shuffle this deck. And stop C, do not shuffle this deck. So A, B, and C. And then we've got this big old block of cards that is totally separate from all three of those. And then a smaller block of cards. I think some of these are expansion content. We've got dividers here that match the loose dividers for the expansion content, I believe. So we've got some loose dividers, and then the regular dividers. That'll make it much easier to sort all of this. The actual breaches that you'll use for preparing your various spells and stuff in the game. Another big old brick of cards, and another big old brick of cards. So we've got 4 bricks of cards that don't have any warnings on them. It looks like these are probably the can't actually tell. Looks like there's a little bit of mix of enemy cards and hero cards in all of these, but they have the A, B, and C here as the bricks for setting up the initial game, and they're double-sided so that you wouldn't miss that you're not supposed to shuffle it. That's pretty clever and pretty cool. Looking forward to that. And then there are a truckload of foam dividers, so that you can keep everything all separated, and so that until more expansion content comes out, that your stuff won't slide around in the box. And then last, oh, not quite last, oh, looks like we got one more, a couple more sets of cards that were in here underneath the foam that had gotten under there. And then we've got the dials, which will show the hit points of the enemy here. Here's the enemy dial, and then the hit points of your city, the thing you're trying to defend. It looks like they were really clever about this. Again, the punch boards are, you can see the punch boards on both sides, but they're fastened opposites, and these were already fastened. I didn't have to put these together. It looks like they're screwed, actually, together, little plastic screws. So that's pretty cool. They spin really freely. No, they're not stuck. I worry that maybe they spin a little bit too freely, but we'll see how that goes when we actually start playing. And then Then we got plastic bags because they love me. Again, publishers, it is so simple to include plastic bags in your game. It is a very, very cheap component, and it will make, it will produce a lot of goodwill for you with the people who play your games. And then, as you can see, the insert is a functional one. It basically gives you 2 rows for the cards, and all of the foam dividers fit just fine. All of the card dividers fit in here just fine. I can see that there's plenty of room for sleeving of the cards when you put them in here, and I guarantee that with the cards that I have now, this stack and this stack, not only will I be able to sleeve them, but there's still room for more expansions in this base box. So that's a really good design for the packaging. It's only cardboard, but as you can see, it's not hollow. Like, it's actually got sidewalls to it, so it's pretty sturdy. I'm really happy with that as an insert for a game that's mostly cards. Big thumbs up. So that's everything that was in the box. I'm gonna maybe open up one of the packs of cards here just so I can get a feel of the cards. I'm going to open up one of the ones that isn't Do Not Shuffle, just to get a sense here. And they do not have tear. They do not have the little tabs that tear. Pardon me. We're going to open them the old-fashioned way. They do have seams, so once you get it started, it tears just fine, as you can see. And then, yeah, these are good cards. These are good. This is good card stock. These just feel good in my hands. And I can see, it looks like we've got the bad guys use this card back for their decks, and then the good guys use this kind of card back for their spells that exist. And the artwork in this game is pretty. I really like it. I'm not sure what the artist's name is. I'm going to look that up here really quick in the rule booklet. Gong Studios, so it looks like it's a studio. Scott Hartman did the art direction and graphic design. Scott Hartman, you did a very good job. This is a very good-looking game. I am highly impressed with the way this game looks. Anyway, so that's it. Aeon's End from Action Phase Games. I'm going to go ahead and finish punching out all the punch board and try to get everything into the box in some sort of an arrangement, since there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not supposed to shuffle. I won't try to figure all of that out on camera, but I'm really happy to finally have this game in my hands. I've been waiting for it since it was on Kickstarter, and really since I first saw the prototype. So it's great to finally have the game. And that's it. Bearded Rogue out.